Hey everyone, good morning or good evening or good afternoon, depending on where in the world you are. I wanted to share with you a painting I just finished about a week and a half ago. This is a commissioned artwork and it's a little different than than most of the paintings that I do. And so I wanted to kind of share the story behind it with you because it was a really interesting process. So basically, the prompt or the project for this was to make a painting inspired by an art installation that is comprised of a bunch of hanging discs. They're in this big space. It's much larger than human scale, and all these kind of flat discs, kind of like CDs a little bit, are suspended from the ceiling from using fishing line, or what looks like fishing line. And the idea was to make a painting inspired by this. And so the process, I want to talk to you about what the process was like for me. So initially, what I did when I started doing preliminary work felt more like kind of a portrait of the art installation, and that didn't just quite feel right, and it felt too literal. And so what I landed on eventually, and what is more in line with most of my work, is to make a painting that felt like the experience of being in this sculpture or installation, or moving through it, right? Because my work is kind of explores what it feels like to be outside. And so I thought, well, maybe as a painter, I can do things that we can't do with photos, and that we can't experience necessarily as humans. So maybe that's what I'll do. And so the idea or the impetus behind this painting was, what would it feel like if we were floating or flying through these discs, which we can't possibly do, right? And so as I worked on this, and I didn't know what it would look like, and I rarely know what my paintings will look like, especially when they're abstract, which is that this was meant to be an abstract painting. And as I worked on it, I realized that I didn't have all the landmarks that I'm used to having, because even when I work abstractly, I think about the landscape a lot. And so I think about the sky and the earth. And every time I tried to kind of hint at those, or especially the land or the earth, it didn't feel right, because this needed to feel like it was in the air. So I still kept a feeling of sky or air, because that felt appropriate. But other than having more kind of weight to the bottom of this, it didn't feel right to have anything that described the earth. So the idea behind this is that we're moving through these floating discs and kind of brushing by them, or kind of bumping on them as we move, because it would be inevitable, because they're everywhere. And so that's what this kind of what this would feel like to me. And so there. So this is the finished painting, and yeah, it just needs to dry a little bit more, and then we'll be photographing it and actually making some prints from it as well, for the collector. So pretty cool project, and yeah, just wanted to share that with you. I hope you're all doing well, and for those of you stateside, happy Thanksgiving this week, and hope you all have a nice day or evening. All right, bye. Thanks.